December 2nd, 2025. Over the West Philippine Sea, the day began in calm routine. The sun glared off the water. Fishing boats traced their usual routes near the Spratlys. But inside the Philippine Air Defense Control Center, tension was building. A young radar operator spotted two fast-moving, unidentified blips on his screen, too quick for any commercial plane. They ignored radio calls, streaking deeper into the air defense identification zone. The operator's urgent report set the room on edge. The blips closed in on Philippine-held territory, their path direct and unyielding. This was no accident. It was a test, a deliberate show of force. The aircraft flew in tight formation, their radar signatures advanced and unfamiliar. Were they fighters? Bombers? The system couldn't tell, but their speed and silence were alarming. Protocols kicked in, but the intruders remained ghosts, refusing to identify themselves. Phones rang, orders flew, and the calm dissolved into controlled chaos. The two blips pressed forward, a stark reminder of the region's fragile peace. For those in the command center, this was no drill. The digital dots represented a real physical threat. A violation of the skies they were sworn to protect. The time for watching was over. The nation's defenses were being tested, right now. The operators braced for what came next. The breach was not just technical, it was a challenge to sovereignty. The world outside remained unaware, but inside, the stakes had never been higher. The first move had been made. The response would define what happened next. The scramble alarm shattered the morning calm at the airbase. Pilots sprinted to their FA-50PH Fighting Eagles, the best jets the Philippines had. Ground crews worked with precision, arming and prepping the aircraft in record time. Engines roared to life, jets surged down the runway, and climbed into the sky. The mission: intercept, identify, and escort the intruders out. The pilots, a mix of veterans and rookies, felt the weight of responsibility. They knew their jet's limits. Fast, but not the fastest. Capable, but not cutting edge. As they ascended, updates crackled over the radio. The intruders were still coming, unfazed. The Filipino pilots pushed their jets to the limit, the strain visible on their faces. They were the nation's only line of aerial defense. Families on the ground watched, pride and fear mingling as the jets vanished into the clouds. The risks were real, but so was their duty. Outmatched or not, they would meet the challenge head-on. The old guard was in the air, facing a modern threat. The fate of the encounter and a measure of national pride rested on their shoulders. The sky was now a battleground. The world watched, waiting for the outcome. As the FA-50s closed in, the tech gap became painfully clear. The Philippine jets, light combat aircraft, were no match for what they faced. The intruders were fifth-generation fighters, stealthy, fast, and packed with advanced sensors. Filipino pilots struggled to track them. The enemy could see everything while remaining nearly invisible. The Philippines' radar network was patchy, communications vulnerable to jamming. The entire defense system was being outclassed, not just the jets. The pilots did what they could, shadowed, recorded, issued warnings, all ignored. The intruders flew circles around them, a taunting display of superiority. Then, as suddenly as they'd appeared, the enemy jets vanished, accelerating beyond reach. The message was clear: we can come and go as we please. The Filipino pilots returned, frustrated but undaunted. The need for change was undeniable. The sky had become a proving ground for national resolve. Along the Palawan coast, the roar of jets was a jolt of reality. Fishermen looked up, pride and fear mixing as their country's planes chased unseen threats. News of the breach spread fast, on radios, online, in every coastal town. The incident struck a nerve. Sovereignty was under threat, and the nation felt exposed. For years, harassment came from the sea. Now, it was in the sky. The event became a symbol of courage, but also of vulnerability. Headlines blared, commentators debated, and the public demanded answers. The realization was harsh. The Philippines was struggling to defend its own borders. Calls for action grew louder. Modernization was no longer a distant issue. The bravery of the pilots inspired, but also underscored, the urgent need for better tools. The nation's morale was on the line. Fear turned to determination. The demand for a stronger air force became a rallying cry. It was about survival, dignity, and the future. The country was ready for change. The December 2nd incident was a wake-up call. The Philippine Air Force's modernization had been slow, hampered by budget and politics. The FA-50s were a step forward, but not enough. The nation needed a true multi-role fighter, one that could control the skies and deter aggression. The West Philippine Sea is vital for food, energy, and trade. Without credible air defense, the country remained vulnerable. Military planners searched for a solution, something advanced but affordable. The KF-21 Boromi, a new fighter from South Korea and Indonesia, emerged as a promising candidate. It offered near fifth-generation capability at a fraction of the cost. For the Philippines, the Boromi symbolized a leap forward, a chance to level the playing field. It was more than hardware. It was hope for a secure future. The call for modernization became a national movement. The Boromi became the face of that future. The KF-21 Boromi is a game-changer for the Philippine Air Force. With stealth features and advanced electronics, it's far beyond the FA-50. Its AESA radar and IRST system give pilots a decisive edge, seeing threats before being seen. The Boromi can carry long-range missiles, strike ground and sea targets, and adapt to any mission. A squadron of KF-21s would transform the PAF from a defensive force to a credible deterrent. Imagine December 2nd with Boromis. The intruders detected early. Filipino pilots holding the advantage. The power dynamic would shift, no longer the hunted, but the hunters. The Boromi promises a future where Philippine skies are secure. It's not just about jets, it's about national confidence. The technology gap could finally be closed. The nation could stand tall, ready for any challenge. The future was within reach. The decision was now urgent. Acquiring the KF-21 isn't just about money. It's about commitment. The jets are expensive, and so is the training, maintenance, and logistics needed to keep them flying. Pilots and ground crews would need years of new training. Spare parts and support would require new supply chains and infrastructure. The investment is massive, and the political will must be strong. International politics add complexity. The US may prefer Manila by American, while China will see the move as provocative. The Philippines must balance alliances, manage regional tensions, and stand firm. Logistics and sustainment are as critical as the jets themselves. The program's success depends on more than just a purchase. It's a national transformation. The risks are real, but so are the rewards. The path forward is challenging but necessary. The nation must prepare for the long haul. The stakes have never been higher. The KF-21 decision will echo across the Indo-Pacific. For allies like the US, it signals Manila's commitment to its own defense and regional security. It could deepen military cooperation and intelligence sharing, but China will see it as a provocation, likely increasing pressure and military presence. The move could escalate tensions, but also deter aggression. Southeast Asian neighbors will watch closely, some supportive, others wary of an arms race. ASEAN's unity may be tested as the region navigates great power rivalry. The acquisition is a gamble. It could stabilize the region or raise the stakes. Diplomacy will be key, framing the move as defensive, not escalatory. The Philippines must reassure allies and manage rivals. The balance of peace and deterrence hangs in the balance. The world will watch how Manila manages its new power. The future of regional stability is at stake. December 2nd pushed the Philippines to a crossroads. One path maintained the status quo, less costly, less risky, but leaves the nation vulnerable. The other, invest boldly in modernization, symbolized by the KF-21. This path demands sacrifice, commitment, and diplomatic skill. It could secure the nation's future but also escalate tensions. The choice is not just for leaders, but for every Filipino. What price for security? What risk for sovereignty? The decision will shape the nation's destiny. As the sun sets over contested waters, the question remains, stand still or stand strong? The world is watching. The future of the archipelago hangs in the balance.